Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Sorry, my camera's still rocking. Here to do another vendor wax haul video. So this will focus on an order that I did with L3 Waxy Wonders. It was a ready to ship order. I think it was just pre-order extras. So I can't remember if, because she does pre-orders every now and then she'll put the extras up on the website. The pre-orders often have a range of scents and then samplers. I haven't really been... I haven't done any pre-orders for quite a while with L3 now. I just have found the scents in them, either I have them or I'm not interested in them, and the samplers haven't generally caught my eye. But when the pre-order extras went up, I know that there was sort of 2 scents in the Bitty Betty category that I wanted to get. And then there was just a couple of samplers that looked interesting as well. So that's pretty much all I got. I say all, there's quite a few scents because there is 2 samplers. You can see them behind me there. The samplers that I got, there was one, I think it was Earthy, and the other one is the Buttermilk Pie Sampler. So the Buttermilk Pie one I was keen to try because now I have tried Buttermilk Pie in a few scent variations. I quite like Buttermilk Pie, so I thought I would get the sampler, and the Earthy one just had some interesting blends. So, and like the video, the Scoopable video that I did this morning, so it's lunchtime Friday now, I am still quite, like I can smell now, thankfully, but I am still kind of congested sounding and stuff. And my scent seems to be like maybe at 80%, but I do think that some things are maybe a little bit not as strong as they should be, and it's possible that some scent notes might not be coming through as well. So it would probably be better if I waited and did this when I was back at 100%, because then I'd be able to give you proper, like, you know, as good as I can kind of first impressions of all of these scents. But I need to get this wax put away, so I think I can give you a pretty good indication of what things smell like. But you know, I could, there could be something, you know. So the samples, I haven't undone this yet, so sorry for the noise. Let's tip it out of the bench here. So 3 samples. There was also a sticker. So L3 nearly always sends a sticker with like an inspirational quote, which I did read out on the forwarder box video, but I've put it somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in amongst these mounds of wax that I have around me. And 3 samples. So the first sample is this one. It is Hello Sugar Blue Raspberry Cotton Candy. I don't know what Hello Sugar is. And, you know, blue raspberry and cotton candy is blue raspberry and cotton candy. I don't know if Hello Sugar has like a lemon component to it, like a sugar lemon. Like I can smell like the blue raspberry and the cotton candy, which is not my favorite kind of scent profile. I'm not a big fan of blue raspberry. Kind of smells like children's medicine. But then I feel like there's a slightly sweet lemon maybe to that. So it's not like what I'm crazy about. But I could maybe melt it in summer. But yeah, blue raspberry really smells to me like, I don't know about cough medicine, but like just some sort of like, you know, kiddie medicine flavoring. Strawberry salad satsuma. This one's also a heart, but like a pebble heart. So definitely very fruity. I've been enjoying Satsuma lately, but I don't know if I love L3s. I haven't experimented with it enough, but I just feel like I've had a few Satsuma scents from L3 lately that haven't quite wowed me. This kind of just smells like a fruit candy. I feel like maybe there's a slight watermelon to it as well. I don't know if strawberry salad has like a slight watermelon. Like, it's not strong, but yeah, it's okay. A lot of those kind of artificial fruit scents, like the candy-like fruit scents and things that you obviously get a lot of. I feel like you get a lot of them for summer, but then you get them a lot around Halloween as well. They're just not my favourites. This one I know I'm not going to like. Cherry almond, pistachio pudding cake, coconut extreme. So I don't like cherry scents. I don't like almond scent. Or some cherry scents are okay, but cherry almond is not for me. That pistachio pudding cake also smells very like, it's a very cherry almond kind of pistachio scent. Yeah, no. I feel like maybe my nose isn't picking this one up because I actually can't smell a huge amount off it. So I feel like maybe there's just something in there that my nose isn't quite back online with yet. But yeah, it's got that kind of sweet, just that kind of sweet and cherry almond sort of scent that I don't want. But it's not like massively offending my nose right now. So I don't know if that's just because I'm not smelling it in full, or if it's just like that one, maybe the Coconut Extreme is kind of toning it down and making it more acceptable. But it's still not a me scent. Okay, I'll do the 2 scents that I got the Bitty Betty loaves in, and then I'll do the samplers. So they're the exact same colour, which has been very confusing for me. So the first scent I got was 2 loaves of zucchini bread. So I have loved L3's zucchini bread scent for a long time. I get it in blends a lot. It's just a really great bakery blender. It's my kind of bakery blender. But I realized that lately I've been kind of wanting to blend with zucchini bread, and I haven't had just straight zucchini bread to do that with. I mean, I do now. I have a bar from Vintage Chic Scents who also has quite a good zucchini bread. But I really wanted L3's. I have got from L3, so I'm just pulling off while I talk, some of the loose edgy bits so they don't drop on the floor. I have got a loaf of zucchini bread cookie crack, which is not bad for blending, but the cookie crack kind of waters down the zucchini bread a bit for me. So I just wanted straight up zucchini bread to melt. Oh, it smells so good. I can tell why some people really don't like zucchini bread. There's this really kind of deep, unique baked note to it, which it doesn't smell like feet to me, but I think because it's got like a kind of saltiness, I think I can tell why it does smell like that to some people. So I totally get why some people don't like zucchini bread, but for some reason that scent, it doesn't smell like actual feet to me. It just smells deep and kind of salty, but kind of creamy and kind of a touch spicy, and I just love it. She's got the great, just absolute stand-up solid zucchini bread. So happy to have some of that now. Okay. Put that over there. And then the other scent I got, so same colour, spiced oat milk and cafe Cubano. So this one, I feel like I've been talking about this one so much because I've been melting through. I had a fluted tart bag of this scent, and I've seriously just been melting it every second week. The only reason I've still got any left is because I've mostly just been melting it up here in my office, which is just one warmer. So, and I cut my fluted tarts in half, so I get 8 melts per bag. So even with, so if I did that, so basically a fluted tart bag, if I did it down in my lounge room, which is 3 warmers, you know, it would be gone in 3 goes, right? But up here in my office, I've put it in a couple of other rooms too, but yeah, that's why, the only reason why I'm not finished that bag yet, but I'm close. I've got like 1 melt left, so I definitely needed to get more. Although I will say, once the weather gets warmer, I'm probably going to melt it less. This is absolute, like, the epitome of a hug in a mug type scent for me. Like, it is the most incredible hot drink type scent that I've ever smelled. Like, I don't really love melting coffee scents anymore, unless they're, you know, very bakery heavy. Never been a huge fan of chai blends. Occasionally they're blended right, but very rarely. Tea scents, like, I don't mind a tea scent, but I never really find them comforty and cozy. Sometimes an Earl Grey scent can kind of get there, but they've never quite cracked it for me. But this is, I just sort of picture this warm, milky, deliciously spiced beverage. Like, it's so freaking good, and it's just so often I've just wanted to melt this up here in my office. Like, I'll be starting work for the day, I'm just, you know, I'm not quite in the mood for it, I just want some comfort, and this has been the scent that I want to melt every single time. So I would have been happy to get a loaf, but I haven't seen it in the loaves. I'm sure it probably popped up as a loaf like as soon as I ordered it, but I just went, look, it's available, I'm just going to get 2 bitty betties. Because I won't melt it when the weather warms up, I think that's enough. Like, I'll probably start melting one of these this month, but I totally foresee that at least one of those bitty betties will be left over for next year. So those were the only 2 single scents that I got. Everything else was samplers. So the first sampler, I'm pretty sure it was earthy. I think that's what she called it on the site. Yeah, so each of the samplers, they are just single bunts packed. I'm glad that the samplers now, she's not doing the chunky bunts. So the first few samplers she did were chunks, like kind of big chunks in the bunts. And they were kind of, I'm pretty sure they were all like cent and overpour. So like the chunks would be 1 cent and the overpour would be another. And I'm not the biggest fan of those because I just find that when you're smelling them cold, it's harder to get a read on what the scent will actually smell like. Similar to like a layered loaf. Like if the scent is not integrated and poured together, you don't really know what it's fully going to smell like until you put it into the warmer, in my opinion. The other reason I don't love them is I just find that sometimes I'd get cut it up and I'd get pieces that were all chunk and other pieces would have very little chunk. So the scent would kind of be different each time. So I do just prefer the simplicity of the blend. It's blended in one chunk and it's easy to cut as well. So the first one I have is Asian Sandalwood, Bamboo and Riverbank. And I love these bags that they're in. They feel a lot thicker than her previous bags. They feel really good. So Asian Sandalwood, I think I've smelled before. Riverbank I have. To me, it's a very, it doesn't smell like a riverbank. It's a very body care, like, kind of aquatic scent. And not sure if I've encountered Bamboo before, but anyway. This smells not bad. It's kind of got a lot going on in it. Kind of competing sort of scents it smells. Like my first instinct was to say it smells kind of body care like. So it doesn't smell, dropping samples. It doesn't smell like realistically earthy or fresh or anything like that. But it also smells a lot more complex than like a standard body care scent would smell. I can definitely pick up like sandalwood elements, like kind of like incense sandalwood. And there's definitely freshness from both the Bamboo and the Riverbank. Thankfully, the Riverbank is not like super strong because I don't know if I'm a big fan of Riverbank. But I like the way the kind of incense tones play with the sort of fresher notes. So that's not bad. Put it back over here. So the next one I have is patchouli, Cuban tobacco, and fresh linen. So this one is in the slightly thinner bags that I'm more used to. They're not thin, but just the difference in thickness between those two bags is quite apparent when you feel them. Whew, okay. Very strong, fresh linen to this. To me, this is a really crisp laundry scent, which I normally wouldn't be able to tolerate, but it's kind of okay because I am getting kind of the earthiness from the patchouli and maybe just a touch of Cuban tobacco. I feel like the Cuban tobacco is not super strong. But it really does smell like laundry powder. Like it smells like if you threw something into the wash that maybe had smelled a lot like patchouli. And so you've washed it or you're about to wash it, so you can mostly smell your laundry, but you can still smell like a slight hint of the patchouli. I don't know if that's going to be a love for me. I will try it out. It's probably a little bit too laundry-like, but we'll see. Nug Champa stainless steel and pipe tobacco. So I don't know how I feel about this one, to be honest. We'll see. It's okay. Definitely get Nug Champa as the most kind of noticeable part, like identifiable part of the blend. And stainless steel is kind of like masculine but quite fresh. So it's a little bit, because then you've got pipes tobacco, which is kind of a little bit sweetened, kind of slightly smoky tobacco. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. It's a bit odd. It might go okay in like in spring, because it definitely has that kind of clean freshness from the stainless steel. Like I feel like that's kind of, even though the Nug Chumper is like the most identifiable part of the blend, the overwhelming vibe I get from it is kind of more fresh, like it's earthy fresh. So we'll see. I don't know how I feel about that though. Could be just a little bit too weird. Vanilla patchouli, vanilla lace, and sandalwood. Okay, this is pretty good. I do like me a good vanilla sandalwood, patchouli kind of sandalwood blend, and I'm getting a lot of that. But then there's just a nice pretty tone. You can't really smell vanilla lace, but I think there's just a... it lifts it a bit, just makes it a little bit more pretty. This one reminds me a bit of one of my old favorites, which was like vanilla sandalwood, Palo Santo, black amber, and patchouli. Like obviously it doesn't have the strong woody tones that one did, but it has that same kind of pretty sandalwood vibe that I enjoyed. So I like that one. That one's really nice. I don't mind a kind of hippie, woody sandalwood scent if it's like that. Come on. Wild Elderberry, Vanilla Sandalwood, and Vanilla Satin. I'm not familiar with Elderberry or Vanilla Satin. I'll pause. Okay, and just drop the bag. Sorry, had to have a big cough. Ooh. I like this. And it's weird because it kind of smells like grape, which I don't like. Like, I'm not a grape fan, but there's a bit more depth to it. Like, it's almost like a grape leaning into blackcurrant. And I do like blackcurrant. But then there's more to it than that. There's earthiness, but so the kind of grapey, blackcurranty sort of scent is kind of sweet, but then there's depth. But I can't really put my finger on what else. Like, it's definitely mostly like that kind of fruitiness, but there's woody tones, and it's really good. I really like that one. In fact, I think that one might be my favourite so far. Very surprisingly. Because at first, my first instinct was, that smells like grapes, but it smells good. And I just don't normally think grapes smell good. So, that's very interesting. Elderberry, huh? Purple Sandalwood, Boom Boom, and Palo Santo. So love Palo Santo. Boom Boom can take or leave. It depends on the blend. Purple Sandalwood. I can't remember what's in Purple Sandalwood. I know I've encountered it before though. So this, I'm not getting much Palo, but I will say just, I don't know if my nose is 100% back online for Palo yet. So it could just be, and especially Palo sometimes takes a while to, comes out stronger when you melt it anyway. So this smells quite pretty. Definitely body care like, but doesn't smell straight up like Boom Boom. Like, smells like a pretty sort of sandalwood, slightly musky body care vibe. It's not bad. I mean, I'm hoping the Palo does come out. But yeah, it's okay. And then the last one in the earthy sampler is Bamboo, Seattle Rain, and Rainstorm. So Rainstorm I love, Seattle Rain I love. Sometimes the two of them together though can be a bit much. Bamboo I'm not like super familiar with. Yeah, this is super aquatic. Yeah, this is like straight up one of the freshest, most aquatic type scents I've ever smelled. Like it's aquatic, but there's nothing else in there, you know? It kind of is, but and then when I say it's aquatic, it's almost like it's a mix of aquatics. Like if I go, oh, does this smell like the ocean? I'm like, no, it's not salty enough to smell like the ocean. Does it smell like a pond or a lake? No. Yeah, I feel like I can kind of get mossy tones from it and stuff like that. It's like if you took all of it, like some ocean, some lake with mossy rocks, some rain, some all of that. I feel like all of that is in this blend. So it's not like a huge favorite, but it is one that I would probably be okay with to melt. Particularly, I feel like this one would be a good one to cool the house down, like on a summer day if a cool change came through and you wanted to cool the house down. I feel like that one would be not a bad choice. Okay, so the other sampler, I do love these bags. The last one was just sort of a plain brown organza, but this one's got lovely gold detailing on it. So this is Buttermilk Pie. I do love Buttermilk Pie. Buttermilk Pie is, so it's not printed on any of these, but it's like, it's got creme brulee, it's got pie crust, it's got sugar cookie, it's got other stuff. But to me, it's just like, it's just a vanilla bakery blend. But what I really like about it, I think, is the creme brulee note, because I feel like it just brings in a slightly caramelized tone to it. It's not super strong, but I just feel like that is what makes it stand out from the many other vanilla bakery blenders that L3 has, because L3 has a lot of vanilla bakery blenders. It's one of the things I like about L3 and why I get so many of their bakery blends is because there's a vanilla bakery house blend for every occasion, and you can blend them with just about whatever you want, whether you're doing it in your customs or your requesting combos. You can just do it. So Buttermilk Pie to me is another another solid scent in that lineup. You know, other scents I can think of, Santa's on Keto, Cookie Therapy, which is probably more kind of like salty, almost savory bakery than vanilla, but it's still a vanilla bakery blender as far as I'm concerned. There's Fat Bottom Girls, which I'm not as big of a fan of. Don't Cross Streams, which is pretty much a straight up vanilla bakery. And I think there's others as well. So yeah, it's just another one of those, but I do really enjoy it. I really like it blended. I like it on its own, but I really like it blended. So I didn't want to get the sampler to begin with until I'd tried Buttermilk Pie, but once I had, I went, you know what, I'm really keen to try some more scents with it. So the first scent here is probably going to be the one that I like the least, which is Ice Cream Scoop Bread, Sugared Shortbread Buttermilk Pie. So I love Sugared Shortbread, love Buttermilk Pie. Ice Cream Scoop Bread, it has like an almond note to it that I don't like. So we'll see how strong that comes through. Look, I feel like I could melt it. I feel like it's a nice cookie buttermilk pie scent. But I can definitely smell like a sweetened almond scent lurking in the background. So it's not bad, actually. It's not, I was expecting it to be worse because I've really had a hard time with Ice Cream Scoop Bread blends in the past. But this one doesn't smell too bad. So we'll see. Hufflepuff Buttermilk Pie. So Hufflepuff is, it's like a pumpkin pastry something scent. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's just, it's spicy pumpkin stuff, which is just not what I'm about. And it's kind of sweet and spicy. I just don't love that. So yeah, this mostly smells like Hufflepuff. It is an improvement because I think that the sweet and spicy aspects of it are toned down by the nice buttermilk pie vanilla blend. But it's still, I can still smell the buttermilk. Like, I can still obviously smell Hufflepuff. So this one, not really a big fan of. It is an improvement on Hufflepuff, but it's still too Hufflepuff for me. Again, I apologise for the constant throat clearing and stuff. I know if you've got like headphones or something, that sounds going to be really annoying. I totally get that, but I just need to get these videos done. Spun Sugar, Raspberry Whip and Buttermilk Pie. So I do love a good Raspberry Whip blend. Be interesting to see what kind of, how sugary the spun sugar makes it. So this mostly smells like raspberry whip. But the more I smell it, the more I can smell something else. But it's definitely very, very heavy on the raspberry whip. A sweeter raspberry whip. So I feel like the spun sugar and the raspberry whip is dominating, but the spun sugar is amping up the sweet aspect of it, because raspberry whip is actually kind of more, not like tart, but definitely doesn't lean to be a really sugary raspberry, but I feel like I can smell sugar crystals in this as well as like crushed raspberries. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Because the buttermilk pie, I do think it's there, but I feel like it's maybe even adding to that kind of sugar crystalliness scent. That's not a very good description, but is what it is. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Wildberry mousse, blackberry jam, and buttermilk pie. This one, I feel like it will be amazing. I'm really hoping it's amazing because I love all three of those scents. Yep, it's pretty good. The only thing I will say is that I can definitely smell the blackberry jam very strongly. I like L3's blackberry jam, but it has more of a tartness in it than I prefer in my blackberry jam. I like a really kind of sweetened blackberry jam. Hers is just a bit more tart. So this is good, but I kind of wish the ratio was a little bit higher with the wildberry mousse and a little bit lower on the blackberry jam. But we'll see how it comes out when it warms up. It smells really nice with the buttermilk pie, so it is really good. But it's not like, you know, if that was using like other blackberry jams that I'm familiar with, that could have been, or even just her blackberry, that could have been like right up there as my favorite scent of all. But it's just pretty good. Brown sugar cupcakes at Tiffany's and buttermilk pie. Cupcakes at Tiffany's can be very hit or miss for me, but I do like a good brown sugar blend, so. Yeah, this is not bad. It actually smells just like a really extra sweetened version of buttermilk pie. Because I guess the kind of toffee and sort of, I don't know, I think Cupcakes at Tiffany's has a vanilla note. Those kind of gel with the buttermilk pie. In some ways, I guess buttermilk pie smells like a more toned down version of Cupcakes at Tiffany's to me. Maybe. No, I don't know if that's right, but I do feel like they kind of mesh well. So this one might come across a little bit too sickly sweet, like that toffee and stuff might, with the brown sugar, might be too much. Feels like it's borderline. I feel like it could be really nice, like just that kind of extra sweetened, extra rich kind of buttermilk pie scent, but we'll see. Today is October 3rd and buttermilk pie, so I've actually already bought and tried this one. I really do enjoy it. So today's October 3rd is like the Palo Santo toasted marshmallow sugar cookie kind of scent, sugar cookie royale, and then the buttermilk pie obviously is buttermilk pie. So they go together really well, like the slightly caramelized aspect of the creme brulee in the buttermilk pie, it just tones perfectly with today's October 3rd. And I'm not always, today's October 3rd is actually not my favorite Palo Bakery blender. There are others that I like more. I've had a few today's October 3rd blends which have just not wowed me, but this one is probably one of my favorites. So this is really good and I'm glad I've got more of that. Lemon cream pie, buttermilk pie. So there's always a lemon cream one in these samplers, I find. It's pretty good. It mostly smells like lemon cream pie. Lemon cream pie is a very strong, very dominant kind of scent. It's not my favorite lemon bakery scent, but it's not bad. Like I like it against a strong bakery, which buttermilk pie is. I find it's good and it holds its own, but I wouldn't call it like a really strong kind of bakery. You know what I mean? It's just. So I definitely think it's here, it's present, but it's not like this is overwhelmingly a lemon cream pie bakery with some, maybe some stronger sort of vanilla elements to it. So we'll see how that one goes, but I feel like it's not drastically different to like the other lemon cream pie scents I've tried, which are quite a few because, like I said, I do feel like lemon cream pie gets blended into these samplers a lot. The last one I have is green apple, sugar, cinnamon, sugar, and buttermilk pie. So I've had brown Betty apple buttermilk pie, I think, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm kind of hoping this is like along those lines, you know. It's not the same, but it is pretty good. It's a very strong green apple. The cinnamon sugar is subtle, which is odd because cinnamon sugar I've had and it's often not subtle, but it's subtle here. There's green apple and then there's a bit of warmth from the cinnamon sugar, and then you can smell the kind of underlying buttermilk pie. It's not bad. I do think I prefer the apple brown Betty one. That one was really good, but that one's not bad as well. So that's it. That is everything that I got from L3. So lots of interesting sampler scents, and of course my beloved spiced oat milk cafe Cubano, which I think I saw is Ashley Overley's blend. I think maybe I've been giving credit to Laurie Brown for that blend because I just heard about it on Laurie Brown's channel, but I think I saw that it's Ashley Overley's blend. So it's a phenomenal blend. I love that scent. I rave about it all the time. So really happy to have some more of that and some other interesting scents. I still have 3 more videos to go. I've got my Mega K haul, which I might do Saturday night if I'm feeling up to it. I've still got a fairly big Super Tarts ready to ship order to do, and I've got a Dessa's pre-order to do as well. So I'm trying to pace myself, trying not to kind of overdo myself because then I just end up a big coughing ugly mess. So yeah, anyway, I might just leave it there. So hopefully you're all doing really well. I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.